Darkness falls across the land, and the midnight hour is close at hand, but this time the creature crawling in search of blood is actually a 7-inch piece of plastic. Welcome back, everyone. Today we aren't just unboxing an action figure, we are summoning a legend, the master of the macabre, the merchant of menace, the one, the only, Vincent Price. NECA has finally given us the definitive tribute to the horror icon with this ultimate Vincent Price figure. And when they say ultimate, they mean it. This isn't just one movie character, it's a celebration of the man himself. To understand why this figure is such a big deal, you have to look at the legacy it represents. Vincent Price wasn't just an actor, he was the sophisticated face of fear for over half a century. He broke out in 1953 as the vengeful sculptor in House of Wax. From there, he dominated the genre. He played the tragic scientist in The Fly, the eccentric millionaire in House on Haunted Hill.
And I've rented the house on Haunted Hill tonight so that my wife can give a party.
And the groovy host in The Tingler. But for many of us, he is best defined by the Pose cycle, his collaboration with Roger Corman in the 1960s. Films like The Pit and the Pendulum, The Mask of the Red Death, and The Raven showcased his ability to be terrifying, tragic, and campy all at once. Whether he was playing the abominable Dr. Phibes, Egghead on Batman, or lending that legendary voice to Michael Jackson's Thriller, Vincent Price brought a touch of class to every nightmare he inhabited. He was a man of the arts and a master in the kitchen, and the king of the creeps. But how does he translate into plastic? Does this figure truly capture the elegance of the horror legend? Let's crack this open and pour a glass of wine, or maybe a nice Amontillado, and find out. This is the NECA Ultimate Vincent Price Figure Review. Alright guys, and we can tell right off the rip, this figure comes with an absolute arsenal of props and interchangeable parts. Out of the box, we got 3 interchangeable heads representing him through the decades, from the dashing young lead to the distinguished elder statesman. And the accessories, they're deep cuts. We have the Raven, obviously, but also a cookbook and a stack of vinyl records, nodding to his real-life passions as a gourmet chef and an art historian. And first off, we've got a couple of collars here. One's a formal shirt with a tie, and one is for a tuxedo. You could swap those out by pulling off old Vincent's head. We've got a nice little porcelain cup and saucer, well, porcelain looking cup and saucer with some coffee in it so Vincent can have some Java while he's waiting on the next take. And here's a nicely detailed black cat, probably from the Roger Corman film Tales of Terror. Here we have Vincent's record collection, music enthusiast, and you gotta give it to NECA. They're pretty on point with these record sculpts. They did a really good job with these. And here's Vincent's cookbook. And it's actually the cover of his cookbook. And if you look at the back, there's actually printing on the back too. Just a nice little touch that NECA threw in there. Really cool. And next up we have the Raven, sculpted very nicely and perched on an interchangeable forearm, if you want to have the Raven in your display. Very nicely done. And here's a little candle, and I love when they throw stuff like this in because you can use them with the other figures that you have or use them in a diorama. And this is an awesome articulated skull. I love the look of this thing, and you can never have too many skulls laying around your displays. And next on to the absolute head scratcher in all of these props, and there's cigarettes. Now, Vincent Price was a lifelong smoker, And he ended up contracting emphysema and dying of lung cancer, so I kind of got mixed feelings about including these with the figure. Up next are the three fantastic head sculpts. Here's the young leading man, Vincent Price. And NECA always knocks these out of the park. They always look great. Here's the middle-aged, dashing, debonair Vincent Price. Again, very well done. You could actually see the age in the face. And now, the elder statesman of horror. Just fantastic job on these things. Alright, let's look at the articulation. For the head, you're looking at a single ball joint at the base of the neck. Now, I have to be honest here, the range is a little restricted. You get some decent rotation left and right, but looking up is pretty much non-existent. Looking down is minimal. It's mostly due to how the collar and the sculpt of the neck interact. Now, the elbows are actually a highlight for me. NECA went with a seamless, single-jointed elbow here to keep the suit looking clean. Usually that hinders the range, but surprisingly, you can get away with more than 90 degrees out of this bend. It looks fantastic and doesn't break the sculpt of the sleeve, which is huge for a character that needs to hold props. The wrist moves in a full 360 rotation and a little bit of back and forth on that. Not much articulation at the waist. The hips are serviceable. You can get them into a sitting position, just about a sitting position. The legs don't spread very wide. Then again, I'm not sure why you'd want to. And there's a bend at the knee. And a little bit of articulation at the foot, not much. Overall, this is an awesome figure. There you have it, guys, the NECA Ultimate Vincent Price figure. Hopefully you guys enjoyed, and we'll see you next time.